Hey there, Stampin' friends. Welcome to Movie Monday with Jody Breckbill, Stampin' Queen. We are going to continue creating some cute Valentine Day treats. I love making little favor boxes and 3D items, and this one was shared by a friend of mine, Barb Reed, and so I knew I had to create it, and so I actually had this as a favor at my Stampin' Bingo event. So it's a cute little box using the heartfelt suite that is in our mini catalog. So we've got the designer paper, we've got the stamp set, we've got 2 coordinating punches, which are fantastic. And when you pull it out, it's a little pop-up sentiment in there. So it says, roses are red, violets are blue. So lucky to have a friend like you. And then I had 3 little of those lint truffles that were in there for my bingo friends. So again, the heartfelt suite is what we're using. We've got the bundle is the stamp set and the 2 coordinating punches. So let me go ahead and show you how to create this cute box. So I'm going to pull in my Simply Scored tool, and I've got a piece of real red cardstock. This is 7 3/4 by 7 3/4, and I am going to score all 4 sides at 1 1/4 and 2 1/2. So I'm going to keep turning and doing that on all the sides, 1 1/4 and 2 1/2. I'm betting I'm going to need some scissors here, and I'm noticing that I forgot to pack those in my little video box. I always try to get everything ready so that I can make this video for you guys, and sometimes, oh gosh, I'm so sorry. Okay, so while I've got that, again, like I said, all 4 sides, 1 1/4 and 2 1/2, I'm gonna go ahead and do the little wraparound band as well so I can get this off my table. So I've got a piece of Whisper White. This is 9 1/2 by 2 7/8, and I am going to score the long side at 1 1/4, 4 1/8, 5 3/8, and 8 1/4. Okay, so we can get rid of that. And let me grab some scissors quick. All right, so now what we need to do, I always like to do my fold my score lines. I think that makes things easier for me to see them when I'm trying to cut for my box. All right, so now what we need to do is get rid of some of these boxes. So I'm going to cut all the way up. I've got crazy shadow in my studio this morning, so hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm going to cut all the way up here, cut these 2 end boxes off, and then cut off that top box. And so basically what I'm doing here is leaving this little flap so that that will fold in and create the sides of my box. So I'm gonna get rid of these guys here, cut all the way up, making that flap. And then the key is doing that exact same thing on the opposite side. Okay, so I want to make sure that my opposite side looks exactly the same as the other side. So get rid of these guys here. Cut this to free up that one so it makes a little flap, and that's what I can put my glue on so that I can attach the box sides. Having a hard time seeing, there's like glare in here. It's kind of a dreary weekend here in Pennsylvania, which is a great day for stamping. All right, now the other thing that I like to do just to make the box go together a little bit better is I like to bevel or miter these little flaps right here. So I just kind of cut a little tiny bit off of there just so they have a slight angle to them. And it just, whenever this folds over, it's not rubbing on that flap. Now, one thing you want to do, let me see if I have any available here is I do like my green glue for this. So I'm going to take, this would be, so my box is kind of already starting to roll in this way. So on the back side, I'm going to do my green glue here and here. You could use Tear and tape would work great. Sometimes with your green glue, you got to hold it a little bit so it has some time to attach. Tear and tape works great. I do miss our fast fuse. I say that all the time. I liked it. It had a little bit of a learning curve with it, but you know, for kind of checking off the adhesive, I did like that. It was a nice, strong, quick, easy to use adhesive. I tend not to use our Tombow or our snail adhesive. I use that in my card making, but I like using a little bit of a stronger adhesive when I'm doing boxes and 3D projects. Okay, so see how it's starting to come together? Looking just like a box. And that's a good thing. That's what we're going for here. All right, let me see if I can flip you in there. All right, I didn't quite cut far enough down on that one, so it's got a little bit of a bulge, but I think it's going to be just fine. Okay, now ideally you really could get away with not having these flaps on there, but they kind of cover up the little tabs that you just put in there. And so I do like to fold that down just because I think it makes a nice finished project. So we're just gonna tack these guys in there. Oh, I'm getting glue on my finger. It kind of helps give it a little bit of stability too. And again, you just gotta hold it for a couple seconds to make that glue permanent. All right, fantastic, yeah? Nice, cute little box. And this is just, it's a great little size. I really like it for just holding a couple pieces of candy. A little cookie or something might fit in there. So now what we're gonna do, let's go ahead and we'll do our little belly band here. So I'm gonna fold all my edges, and then I'm gonna pull in some of our designer series paper. Where's my adhesive? There we go. Our designer series paper. This is from the same bundle. I think it's called From My Heart, and it's a specialty paper. Absolutely love it because it's got some foily accents on, which are fun. Oh, wait, man. Oh, whoa. I don't know if I can fix this, but I was way off there. Try again, Breck Bill. I can't quite see the score line. All right, maybe we'll do this. Will this help me? Yes. Yeah. All right, so I will make sure that you guys have the dimensions for that piece as well. And I also want to do my two side pieces. And I want to make sure when I cover it. All right, so that's going to go over this piece. Okay, so I want this, I want my paper on that side. And this has some really, really fun little Valentine patterns. And so you could pick, like this one, I did the little hearts with the pink. And yeah, so now I'm going to go ahead. Now, green glue, yeah, let's use you. Make sure I can see what I'm doing. Starting to run low. Actually, I think it's helpful for me to put my box in here when I wrap it around. I just found that that just gave me some stability for attaching. Okay. Perfect. So I'm going to let that dry for just a couple seconds while we do our stamping. So I need a piece of Whisper White, and I'm going to punch out the little scallopy heart. And then I'm going to take some Flirty Flamingo and some Real Red ink. Oh gosh, I forgot that I needed to. Let's see if we can get that out of there. My little sentiment. So I'm going to stamp my Special Friend. I'm going to punch that out with a 1-inch. No, that's too small. Not sure what size I used. Okay, so you guys know that's way too small. I did punch out, it's a 1 3/8 scallop punch here. So I'm betting it's a 1 1/4. That's what I bet, and I grabbed the wrong punch, but that's okay. I can always fix that later. So I'm going to stamp that little outline with my Real Red, and I don't like that, not at all. Let's have a do-over. Much better. See how it got a little bit smeary there? I was pushing too hard. So light with these photopolymer stamps, you really don't have to do much pressure at all. And I'm going to do my roses are red, violets are blue in the center. And then I'm going to punch that out with the plain heart punch. And that is going to go on top with some dimensionals, pop dots, pop tarts, whatever you want to call them in your studio. So that'll get mounted on here. And then I'm going to attach that to the top with a couple more dimensionals. And that's going to go right on the top like that. So now I'm going to pull my box out, and I'm going to take a 3/4 circle punch, and I'm just, you didn't quite glue down there, did you? There we go. I'm going to just go in and just do like just a little half moon. Can you see what I'm doing? Sometimes I work a little too far up. So that's going to be like a finger pull to get it out. You could also put maybe a piece of ribbon on there, like a little pull tab. That would work as well. So now what I need, this is always the fun part, is I need a piece of our window sheet, okay? And I would say it's maybe 4.5, 5 by 3 1/4 or half. I just grabbed what I had. This is probably 3 1/4. And I'm going to put this into the base of my box, and then I'm going to run it up there to the edge and kind of create a little fold there. All right, so I'm thinking mine is 4.5, so you probably want to go 5 inches. That's my recommendation for you. I would go 5 inches just to make it a little bit taller. Couple glue dots to hold it in place. It's going to go right in there and kind of eyeball it so it's in the center of your little notch there that you just created. So now you can put your candy in there, and you're going to take a couple glue dots and attach your scallop circle that'll have your sentiment on it. Okay, so it's just going to go right like that. Now, like I said, I brought the wrong punch to the table, and that's no big deal. I can fix that later. So all you'll need to do is fold that down, slide in your box, and now you've got that adorable little pop-up. Isn't that cute? So simple and easy, and just really makes a little wow for your friends when you give them that little Valentine gift. So thanks so much for joining me, guys. Have a great week, and I will see you next week for Movie Monday.